Hello children, in the series of poems, today I'll let you know something about the poem Amanda, and it is written by the Australian poetess Robin Klein. See, most of the poems or most of the literature that she has been associated with, it is the literature for children. Okay, poems that she has written, mostly it is about children. This poem also, Amanda, it is about a child. So how she has tried to express the concern of this child, what kind of problems she was facing. So we'll see, and you will find that she has dealt this topic, this burning topic in the modern age amongst children in a very important manner. Okay, so how she has done, we'll see through this explanation line to line. Clear? So here we start. When we go through the poem, so we feel that there is a conversation, but it is one-sided conversation. The speaker is speaking something, the speaker is feeling that the listener should talk to him or her, and there should be some answers or some kind of response from the listener side. So whether that is happening or not, we'll see it. Okay, we feel either the mother is speaking to the girl Amanda or the father. We can take anything. Okay, so we feel that the guardian, or can say those parents, they are speaking and they are worried. That is why they feel that there should be some change in the behavior of that girl. So how she was doing, what she was doing, what is the expectation of the parents, you can say. So we'll see. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. See, from the very first stanza, we feel that the parents are not happy with the child. Okay, so maybe we are feeling the mother is telling that girl in a way like she is not happy with the child. She is scolding the child. She is a little bit negative with the child. So with those negative thoughts, she is telling the child, don't bite your nails, Amanda. In a way, she is giving some kind of suggestion also that you should not bite your nails, like she is little bit grown up. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda, means, see, when you do this kind of thing carelessly, with sad mood you are sitting, that is hunching. The same it is little bit slouching also, like you slouching in this way, like you are quite sad, in sad mood you are sitting somewhere, so that is slouching. So these gestures the parents are not expecting from the child to do, but Amanda, she was doing. So the same like instruction, it was given by the mother that you should not do, you should not be the part of these things, you should sit properly, you should sit straight. Okay, so these are the instructions. But the question is whether the girl has done like careful listening of those instructions, whether the girl is acting upon the instructions given by the mother. Okay, so what would be the reply, whether she is giving her ears to that lady or not. Okay, one more thing, important thing I want to tell about this poem, that the poem, it is going on at two parallels. Like on one hand, the reality where the mother is scolding the child, where the mother is telling something to the child, And on the other hand, the girl, the listener, she is not giving her ears to that instruction. She is totally lost in her dream world, in her imaginations. Okay, so on one hand there is reality, that the next stranger will find that it is imaginative world, and then we come back to the reality, then we go again in the world of imagination. So this is how the poem deals, and it has been done wonderfully by the poetess. So after this instruction or these instructions, see what happens in the poem. Now the girl, she does not pay attention to the, or she does not pay any heed to the instructions by the mother. She is lost in her world. When the mother gave instructions, after that she expected that the girl would answer, but the girl was lost in her dream world. She did not pay attention to the mother's saying, instructions, whatever, because she was lost somewhere else. And where she was, when the mother told her something to do while you are biting your nails, okay, all these things. So at that time the girl was thinking, what? There is a language emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me. Means she was feeling, or she was thinking about a place, sea, who, which it was spread from, like the length which is surpassing, everywhere. Clear? Emerald, the little bit green colored sea it is, where the sole inhabitant is me. Means this particular thing, it is for the world. Means there is a big world compared with the sea. The world is equal to sea, and in the sea there is a creature, and which that creature, or what that creature is, it is that girl, and she is feeling in the whole world she is all alone, in the whole sea she is all alone, the only inhabitant in that sea, and it is like she like a mermaid. She like a mermaid, she is drifting there peacefully, blissfully. She is feeling, had it been like she had no one in the name of parents, she would have been living happily her life. Okay, so this is the reason for which she has given her fancies to create such kind of situation in her mind. The next, did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. Again the mother became instructive, okay, little bit instructional, and she says, Amanda, whether you have finished your homework, whether you have cleaned your room, whether you have tidied your room, or whether you have cleaned your shoes. Means all these questions she keeps on asking, but she is not asking in that pleasing way. She is not asking in that general way. Little bit anger, little bit like unpleasant nature she has about Amanda, and with that she is asking. But Amanda, because of this kind of nature, she is not feeling that she should be responding her mother. So that is why she is little bit sad, and every time, when the mother gives instructions, she does not give her ears to the instruction, and she is lost in her world. Okay, I am an orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. The girl is feeling that she is all alone in this world. She is an orphan. She has no parents. Rather, she feels that she should not be having parents. And she She like a girl, she like a child who like often, and she roaming the street. She is a wanderer, okay, roaming here and there. And what she is doing? Patterns of dust with my hushed bare feet. With those like silent feet, she is trying to make some kind of designs on the sand. The silence is golden. See, silence and golden. Why she has used these words like silence and golden? Because she feels that there should be some peace in her world, in her life, and that peace is quite difficult for her to gain. So that is why she feels that it is very costly. It's a rare thing for her that she will get in her life, because every time she is full of little bit noisy, she has to listen some kind of words from her parents, okay, and that she does not want to listen. The freedom is sweet. She wants freedom because she likes such kind of thing, and that is why it has been compared to this word, sweet. Okay, means these things are missing in her life: silence and freedom. She is fed up totally. She is fed up totally from the scolding of her parents, from the angry comments of her parents, and that is why this is her feelings right now, that she should be parentless. She should not be having any person who would say that they would look after her. She does not want. She wants that she is all alone in this world. She wants peace. She wants freedom in her life, so that her life it would go peacefully. Clear? In the next stanza, see, don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne you can say. Amanda, will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? See, the mother again, she is full of instruction, and she shows that she is a little bit worried about her health. So she says that you should not eat chocolate because there would be some kind of allergy, there would be some kind of infection on her face, on her body. So she advises her that she should not eat such kind of thing. She makes her aware that you are suffering from some kind of problem like this one. Okay. So will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? And the mother wants that the girl should look at her when she was speaking to her. Means she wants that there should be some response from the girl, but she is not interested at all. She does not want to answer back because she does not like the atmosphere in the house. Okay. So she goes back to that imagination, or she goes back to that imaginative world again, and this time she feels, I am Rapunzel. I am not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. See, Rapunzel, it's a fairy tale character. There was a witch, and she means Rapunzel, it was kept in a tower, and whenever the witch was to enter there, to come to the Rapunzel, so she used to put down her hair out of the tower, and in this way, by climbing the hair, the witch would come there to her. So she feels that right now she is Rapunzel, and I am not a care. Means she does not care anyone right now. She is totally careless about her life. Like, she does not care who is coming, who is not coming. She wants that she should be alone in this world. Life in a tower is tranquil. She feels that the type of life she is enjoying in the tower, it is full of peace and it is rare. Rare in the sense because she does not want, because she does not get this kind of life anywhere. The peaceful atmosphere that she is getting in the tower, she will not get anywhere. So that is why she is feeling that she will not get the lifestyle or the peaceful life that she is getting in the tower. I certainly never let down my bright hair. See, now she is feeling, or she is saying, trying to tell that she will not let down her bright hair down, so that no witch would come or no one would come to her to disturb her peaceful life. Clear? Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You are always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. See, sometimes, in our house also, children, when you say something when the parents say something, so at that time they make faces, they become sad, they make different gestures on their face. Means it looks like they are quite sad. So the same sad mode it was kept by that girl also. So the mother says once again that you should not be having this kind of mood. Stop this mood. Come out of this mood. Be little bit alive. Be happy. You are always so moody. You never care about anyone. You do according to your mood. You never listen to anyone. What kind of understanding they want to have with you. You never care. So the mother feels that she should come out of her moody nature. Anyone would think that I nagged at you. Nag means scolding. So the mother is little bit conscious also that if others see Amanda in this behavior, so certainly they would feel that the mother, the father, anyone has scolded her. And this kind of thing she does not want that others would come and see Amanda in that sad mood. Okay. So overall, we can say that it's a kind of tug of war between the relations of the people of different generations. Like the modern world people, especially the children, they want carefree life, and they feel that they are more free. They want more freedom than the parents. Okay, the parents think that if they control their children, then they become what they actually want. But the children feel that they know their strength, their weakness. They can make their ways easily. So that is why the poem, after going through the poem, we may feel that we should not be involved too much with the children. We should not be giving too much restrictions to the children, because when we do such kind of things, so we feel that the children, they are going quite away from us. Okay, so we should be little bit we should be dealing them in a balanced way, so that the gap between different generations, it should not be there. Okay, so hopefully you understood the point well. We'll be doing different things related to the poem later, some literary devices as well. Okay, so keep watching.